Hi students, today you'll discover how to become a leader in your classroom. Before we begin, why talk about leadership? Part of our purpose at the college is to equip you to become a positive Christian influence in the world. Well, what is influence? Leadership is influence. Therefore, developing your leadership is something that's really important to us. I want you to listen in today if you want to grow in your leadership, if you want to serve others, if you want to make a positive difference, and you want to become a school leader one day. So let's talk about class monitors for a moment. In your class, there are different jobs that need to be done. Then what normally happens is that you're picked to do one of these jobs, and this year, we don't want you to just help, we want you to lead. Let me explain. Sometimes for teachers, it can be overwhelming to check that all of you have completed your jobs in the classroom, and that's where the leaders come in. Rather than the teacher looking after every student, some of you will be appointed to be leaders over the groups of students, supporting and encouraging those in your teams to do their jobs really well. These people will be known as pillar or classroom leaders. So you might be thinking, how do I become a classroom leader? Well, let me talk to you about when I first started learning the piano. Have you ever learned a music instrument before? Well, there's a picture of me when I was about 5 years old. My parents enrolled me to take some piano lessons. And I started at grade 1. And in order to get to grade 2, I had to pass a test. And if I didn't pass the test, I just remained at grade 1. And I had to keep practicing until I passed the test. But if I did pass it, then I could progress to the next grade, which was grade 2. Only once I passed the first test could I take the next test. No grade skipping was allowed. And if I passed that test, then I would move on to the next grade. Just like learning the piano, in leadership, we also have tests that we need to pass in order to move to the next stage or level. Every person begins at the student stage, someone with no responsibility in the class. To move from student to monitor, you must pass the servanthood test. Here are some examples of growing in servanthood. Volunteering for tasks, picking up rubbish, or helping a friend in need. Now, if you don't pass that test, you remain at the student level, but at any time you want, you can start volunteering for tasks, picking up rubbish, helping others. And when you do that, you can move to the next stage, which is student monitor. And this is where you take on familiar roles such as mail monitor, computer monitor, and school banking monitor. Once you're at the student monitor stage, many of you will want to remain at this stage because you only want a certain level of responsibility, and that's okay. Added to that, there are also only a few positions that are available at the next stage of leadership. But if you want to continue growing, you must pass the responsibility test. Here are some examples of passing the test. Setting a great example for others in your class, doing your job without being asked, and taking ownership over the result. And if you do pass the test, then you become a pillar leader. And this is where you begin to lead groups of students, supporting and encouraging those in your teams to do their job well. You'll find out more about that later. But for now, here's your next step. This is what you need to do. You need to pass the servanthood tests. Remember, here are 3 ways that you can grow in servanthood, and you can do this today. Well, that's it from me. I look forward to seeing you grow in your leadership journey this year.